Okay. So let's talk hemp oil. So we are going to go discuss a little bit about the oil first, and then we're going to do a little overview about the business that we're into, the opening of Jorie's business. So hemp is legal in all 50 states thanks to the Farm Bill of 2014. So cannabis has two species, hemp and marijuana. And Jorie's the one who taught me, I absolutely adore this, that hemp is the sober cousin of marijuana. I absolutely love that. So hemp is legal because it has such low levels of THC. So we're all very familiar with THC. It's the illegal part that is in marijuana. The federal legal limit of THC in this country is 0.3%, and this hemp oil has 0.002%. So completely legal. So what are cannabinoids?
Lori,
Yes.
but we're not seeing the you didn't share
Ooh.
the screen.
Oh, thank you.
So maybe you want to start again.
Okay. You got to see my fun picture. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay. There we go. There's my fun picture. Can everyone see that now? I gotta minimize this. We're good. Okay. So this is the picture that I love to show, that cannabis has two species, hemp and marijuana, and hemp is legal and marijuana is not legal. So this is the picture I love to show. What are cannabinoids? There are over 113 different cannabinoids found in hemp, and CBD is the one that has the therapeutic benefits, and THC is the one that's psychoactive and gets you high. That's the illegal part. There's so much research that has been done on cannabinoid dials, over 20,000 studies, and I love to send people to pubmed.gov and projectcbd.org because that has the science of what has been studied. So what is an endocannabinoid system? It's a very new system, actually. It was only discovered about 30 years ago. And just as we have a central nervous system and an immune system, we have this endocannabinoid system, and it is dormant in most of us because we are not feeding it what it needs. So then these receptors are so tight and closed, and these receptors are activated by things like chocolate, meditation, runner's high, breast milk, CBD is in women's breast milk, and phytocannabinoids, which phyto meaning from plants. So the plants that contain the phytocannabinoids that open up these receptors are cannabis, cacao, echinacea, black pepper, kava, and ginger, but we are not eating enough of those to be able to open up these receptors and get this endocannabinoid system up and running. And why do we want to activate this system? If you guys can mute yourselves out, there's a mute on the bottom left of your screen. Sorry, guys. I got to go back in and mute. Oh, they figured it out. Okay. So why do we want to activate this endocannabinoid system? It helps our mood, memory, and focus, physical discomfort, neurofunction, immune and metabolism, and endurance and recovery. And this is where I like to share how it has helped me. And let me bring myself back on the screen. Hold on. Or not. Okay, well, I'm just going to keep going. So it has helped me. First, I took it because I had horrible discomfort in my heel for 2 years. And it was horrible every day, just shooting pains. And so I started to use it, and within 3 weeks, my pain was reduced by 90%. And after 6 weeks, it was completely gone. And that was after suffering chronically for 2 years. I also noticed that it helped me calm down. It helped me focus. It helped me deal with the daily life stress that I was experiencing. It also has helped me sleep. And it just, sorry guys. I gotta mute this person out. was the culprit. There we go. Found her. Okay. There, I'm back in. So it's helped me tremendously. And I would love Jorie to be able, she has a very powerful story too. And I'd love, Jorie, if you can unmute yourself and share with us how this has helped you.
Yes. So so some of you know, and some of you don't, my son has, we'll just say focus issues. And after about a year and a half, we had finally decided, of trying to find a natural solution for it. We finally decided that we needed to put him on medication, which was really difficult for us to do. I'm rather granola-y. And but it was life-changing for him, in a very positive way. The problem we were starting to have, though, was that when the medication was wearing off, he would be very moody, very edgy, and aggravated, and it was really hard to watch him go through that, and it was really hard to be around him. And I thought, I don't know what to do, because I don't want to take him off the medication because it's helping him so much, but the only other solution we had at that time was to give him more medication, which we didn't want to do. We really wanted to keep it to a minimum. And that was when I met Jorie. So I met Jorie at a Mom's Night Out networking event, and we were talking about what we each did. And she started talking about hemp oil and how it helped with focus and calming and reducing anxiety. And I have to say, she talked about a lot of other things that it helps with, but that was all I really heard, because that was what was relevant to me at the moment. And so I was like, okay, so I have to admit, I actually bought a different brand. It was cheaper, and I thought, oh, there's not really a difference. I'll just try this one. And so we tried it with him and with myself. And I wasn't really noticing a whole lot. And I thought, well, maybe it needs to build up in my system. And then I ran into a mom who I knew was giving CBD oil to her kid for the same reason that I was giving it to Jack. And I said, well, what are you using? And she referred me back to Jorie. And I'm like, okay, I'm supposed to talk to Jorie. And so she kind of went over exactly what she's talking about tonight. And I was like, you know what? All right, I'll give it a shot. And so I bought a bottle, and Jack didn't like it. He didn't like the flavor. He was like, I don't want to take this. And so I said, okay, let's compromise, and we'll alternate between the one you do like and this one. But of course you can't really tell which one is doing what when you do that. And then my husband inadvertently helped me by lending what I call the good stuff, our stuff, to his friend for about 5 days. And so we had no choice but to use the less expensive brand for 5 days. And I thought, okay, well, this will be a good test then. Let's see how this works. And it became really obvious to me that there was a big difference. For my son, it was really like he wasn't taking anything. But he was so excited. He's like, I don't have to take the other stuff. I'm so happy, blah, blah, blah. Well, then when the other stuff came back, I said, okay, we're going to use this one now for 5 days and just to see what happens. And he's like, oh, fine. He has never asked for the first brand again. He's never asked for the less expensive brand again. And I think that says a huge amount about what this is doing. And in fact, at one point he said, well, can I just take the CBD oil instead of taking my medication? Now, we're not at that place, but that told me that he's definitely feeling something, and it's making him feel better. And that was really what sold me on this. As far as my own stuff, I am sort of like with Jorie, like I just feel less anxious. I feel like I'm not overthinking everything. And I had no idea how much I overthink. Is that the right word? How much I was overthinking things until I wasn't doing it anymore. And my husband, he came up to me one day and he said, I have something to tell you and you're not going to be happy. I'm like, what? And he tells me, and it normally was something that I would have been like, oh, you gotta be kidding me. And I was like, well, it is what it is. And I started loading the dishwasher, and he was like, wait a minute, what's going on? Are you okay? What's going on? Because he totally thought I was going to get upset about it. So it's just helped me to be calmer. But the biggest thing for me is how much it's helped Jack. Like, it's really been remarkable. The edginess is gone when his medication wears off, and the weekends are much easier because we don't give him medication on the weekends. We just give him the CBD oil, and he does much better. So that's my story.
That's awesome. Thank you for sharing that, Jorie. It's so cool how this can help such a broad amount of things. I love that, and all ages. So I want to say too that we are sharing testimonies and we're sharing science behind this, behind CBD hemp, and we do not claim to treat, cure, diagnose, prevent any disease. What we are sharing is our stories and the science. So I think what's next is an awesome. Okay. So it's all about balance. So what this oil is doing, it is opening up our receptors in our endocannabinoid system, waking up this dormant system and bringing our body into balance so our bodies can heal themselves. And that's why every body has a different effect, because it's all about what we need. So again, it's bringing our bodies back into balance so our bodies can rest, digest, repair, and heal themselves. So let's hear a little bit more about CBD.
And we're finding out that that manipulation of this endocannabinoid system will control diabetes. It controls cancer. It controls whether you can survive a heart attack or stroke. And so this is critically important for doctors to understand this new science. And the discovery of the endocannabinoid system is the single most important medical scientific discovery ever, and will save more lives than the discovery and application of sterile surgical technique. And I'm a heart surgeon saying that. So more people will be saved by manipulation of the endocannabinoid system than are currently saved by surgery.
The recent research has been looking at cannabis and the different cannabinoids. There's over 80 plus cannabinoids discovered in the cannabis plant. The second most dominant one besides THC is cannabidiol or CBD. And the research now is over 1,200 peer-reviewed journals on CBD. It's probably the most exciting and researched ingredient or substance right now around the world. It doesn't have the psychoactive or high that is associated with THC, but it has a tremendous amount of other benefits, including research shows anti-seizure, anti-epileptic, which is why it's gotten a lot of popularity. We do a lot with children with seizure disorders, and they're getting benefits from this plant in a safe, non-toxic way versus all these drugs that typically don't work. And there's neuroprotective benefits. So you see a lot with concussions and the NFL. There's a lot of research being done now with chronic traumatic encephalopathy or chronically banging their head a lot. There's anti-anxiety, which is really important. It's the anti-THC of sorts. It calms you down. It helps you manage stress better, which is how I look at it. It's much more as a preventative or daily use substance than just treating disease states. And there's immune support. It's a huge antioxidant. There's just a tremendous. It's easier sometimes to talk about what it doesn't do than what it does.
One time, the work on cannabis and epilepsy was sort of inconclusive. Maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. They couldn't quite figure it out. And it's only when they really started separating THC from CBD that they saw, definitively, yes, CBD seems to really stop seizures.
The medicinal uses of hemp are just numerous. The hemp helps, we can talk about the cancer effects of hemp, but it helps with inflammation. It's very anti-inflammatory. It helps with seizures. It's very effective with PTSD for the vets that are coming back that have post-traumatic traumatic stress disorder. Very effective at treating that. It's an anti-inflammatory. But then the uses of hemp for cancer, what I've studied, because of my book, Cancer Step Outside the Box, and the number of cancers, there's about a dozen different cancers that have been studied in depth with medicinal marijuana with hemp. And so the studies from brain cancer to prostate cancer to pancreatic cancer, uterine cancer, cervical cancer, prostate cancer, it's amazing.
Okay, so what is in hemp?
Chemicals that are called cannabinoids.
Right.
THC is short for delta-9 tetrahydrocannabinol. It's the one cannabinoid that everyone's familiar with. That's the one that's psychoactive, and that's the one that gets you high if you smoke it.
Okay.
But there's other cannabinoids. One is called CBD, cannabidiol, and it's very medicinally used. There's no psychoactive component of CBD, but it's a really good medicine.
Oh, again, we are sharing. It was wonderful that we could hear the doctors and the specialists talk about this, sharing the research. We're sharing our testimonies, but we do not, claim to diagnose, treat, care, prevent, or cure any disease or illness. So what do we have? We have this oil, this incredible hemp CBD oil that was formulated by Dr. Chris Shade. He's a double PhD, and he's very well known in the industry for detox, especially mercury detoxification. He was an organic farmer, and he is the founder of Quicksilver Scientific, which is a company that he has had for the past 20 years. And it's only this past year did he connect with Prime My Body and take this to the masses, because Quicksilver Scientific was only, he only was able to sell his products to practitioners and clinicians. And now, because he joined forces with Prime My Body, we are able to take it out to the world now, to everyone. So I love that this is not just a CBD isolate, which people get very excited about, and they think they're doing awesome because they have an isolate, but it's much more awesome with this full spectrum. So we have many different cannabinoid dials. So CBD, CBDA, CBDV, CBG, and they all work synergistically together. So they're giving us the most bang for our buck. You can see CBD is in the blue, all of the things that it can help our bodies with. The only thing that THC does that CBD does not do is stimulate the appetite. And in most of us, we do not need our appetite stimulated. We also have terpenoids, and many of you are aware of all these essential oils that are helping people. Well, this is what's essential oils. So this helps to activate the CB2 receptors, and you can see things like anti-inflammatory, anti-anxiety, sleep aid, antidepressant. So those are in here as an added benefit as well. This is my dad, who's on this call, Dr. Rob. He has his PhD in molecular biology, molecular genetics, and he actually did research in this special liposomal delivery that this oil uses. And he did this research back in the day that paved the way to have a product like this for us now. So he got his postdoc at the U.S. Naval Research Laboratories and Georgetown University, and also worked and researched at the National Cancer Institute for 10 years. So he's helped to educate me on the liposome. He is a liposomologist, and that is the magic behind this oil, and that's what sets this oil apart from all other CBD hemp oils on the market. CBD is not absorbed well in the human body. So what Dr. Shade did was put the CBD hemp oil in a liposome. So a liposome is like a bubble, and it has the same outer membrane, this lipid bilayer, same outer membrane as our cells. So this is able to go right into the cell, and the cell recognizes it, and it goes right in and dumps the CBD hemp oil right into the cell. So the liposome is also nano enhanced, and nano simply means very teeny, teeny, tiny. My dad explains that a nanosecond is a second divided into a billion parts. So that's how small this needs to be able to go through our veins, capillaries, and arteries that are under our tongue, and go right into the bloodstream, right into our cells, so it can go right to the cell. We have a 99% absorption rate. And like I said, most CBD is not absorbed well in the body. So most other oils are absorbed at only 10%. So in layman's terms, you're pooping and peeing out 90% of what you just spent your money on and put in your body. So we take this sublingually under the tongue. You pump it under the tongue and hold it for a minimum of 30 seconds. And then you can swallow it. And right away it's going into the under the tongue, into the veins, capillaries, and arteries, and then also into your mucous membranes. And it also breaks the blood-brain barrier. That's why when we have discomfort in our heads, this can take that away very, very quickly. The other issue with a lot of CBD hemp oils is that they're either in a capsule or a tincture, and they get destroyed by the digestive enzymes as they go into your digestive tract. So this bypasses that. It goes right into whoa, who's doing that? Someone's drawing on this. Weird. Okay, I don't know what the lines are. Sorry. But here is a chart comparing Prime My Body to the leading brand. And actually, that leading brand is the one that Jorie was telling us about in her story. And you can see that you only needed half the amount, 5 milligrams, compared to the leading brand. Sorry. And this is time since ingestion and amount in the blood. There you go. And this is a before and after, inflammation before and then 30 minutes later. So I love that this is in a sunflower seed oil base. Most CBD hemp oils are in a soybean oil, and soybean in this country is genetically modified. We have 2 size bottles. The big bottle is 100 pumps. It retails for $149. You can become a preferred customer and get it for the $119, which is the wholesale price. And you could also join as a wholesale customer, like when we join Costco. And that's a $39 a year membership, and you would be able to get the oil whenever you wanted to at the wholesale price. And then we have a small bottle, which I say is a great accompaniment to the big bottle to have in your purse or in your nightstand, just as a standby. So that's the oil. I want to briefly go over, sorry again for all these pink lines, I don't know what they're from. I want to go into a little bit about the business piece. There is certainly a buzz, pun intended, going on right now in the cannabis and hemp industry, and they're predicting that there will be $22 billion in consumer sales by the year 2020. So affiliate marketing is fantastic. It's a way for us to be able to own a franchise and not put $500,000 into opening it up. It's the future of business. So, why do we buy things that we buy on Amazon? Because we really care about what people's experiences are with products. Uber is the largest taxi cab service in this country, and yet they don't own one car. They pay people to share their car. Airbnb is the largest hotel industry in the world. They don't own one hotel property. They pay people to share their residence. So this is where the future is going. This is our CEO, Paul Rogers. He's got such a heart, and he's phenomenal at what he does. He works very, very hard for this company. Here are some of the numbers that I like to share. Again, we've only been collaborating with Dr. Shade for a year, and we are the fastest growing hemp company in the world. We are going global, starting opening in Japan, and we are international founders, and we're then moving into Canada, Mexico, and Germany. So like I said, it's $39 whether you want to just be a wholesale customer like a Costco account, or actually have your own business and you have your own website and back office. And then you buy in with a package, so anywhere from a personal pack to a large package that you could share and sell to others. We have 8 different ways we get paid. It's a very complex, very generous compensation plan. So we have retail customers, we have preferred customers, fast builder rewards, team building rewards, where we're building and working with both of our teams, matching bonuses, residual rewards, leadership rewards, rookie bonuses, and here are the different rank achievements. We get paid once a week, and there's an unbelievable amount of support in this company, from Facebook to phone calls and text messages and Voxer and corporate calls almost every night of the week. So you never have to be alone. This is a group effort. This is a team effort. And then this is my favorite slide of the whole presentation. It shows where we are. We are in launch, and that is huge. When we think of network marketing companies, things that pop into our mind are like Mary Kay and Amway, companies that have been around for years and years, and they're in the stability mode, which is about $100 million a month. And so it's really difficult to build a huge team and a big business when you're in stability. But at launch, at the beginning, it's a very different story. And we're here with hemp. And that is it's such a big deal. And we are the first company to take hemp global. So it's very, very exciting. And I'm honored to be a part of this company. I actually, my story is that I was with another network marketing company, and it took me 4 years to hit, I call the comma club, which is four digits, and so it took me, I said, I'm going to give it 30 days. And it took me 30 days to see 4 figures, that comma club. So what took me 4 years in the other company took me 30 days in this company. And now I'm seeing 4 figures, the comma club, weekly. So, and it hasn't even been a year yet. So I'm very honored to be able to do this and to be able to share this with people and see the profound effects that this is having in people's lives. So with a thank you so much, let me stop my share. And I wanted to, again, thank everyone for being on this call, for supporting Jorie in her new endeavor, for sharing how this is helping so many people in so many different ways. And if anything you heard tonight, whether you want to be a customer, want to join us as in our team and help share this, or just say, thanks, Jorie, for thinking of me and inviting me. If anything resonated with you, I encourage you to reach out to Jorie or the person who invited you to this call. And I thank you so much. Jorie, you want to give a quick thank you? Tell your amazing people.
Yes, thank you guys so much for being on this call. It really means a lot to me that you guys came here, whether you are just on this call because you're just here to support me and you really could care less about hemp, or if you came here because you're looking for a solution for something. I really appreciate you guys being on here. It really means a lot, and I hope you got a lot out of tonight. And if you do have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. If I don't have the answers, I have Jorie here who can definitely help me. So.
Absolutely. Thank you guys so much for spending your time with us tonight. Good night.
Good night.